Welcome to Dwarvenkegger, I'm Tanner.
And I'm Rob.
And today we are reviewing Left Hand Brewing's Flamingo Dreams Nitro. Which sounds a lot cooler than it's probably going to be. I know where it's at.
I'm just helping.
Okay, so it's 4.7% alcohol by volume and 11 IBUs. At something like 11 IBUs, I'm like, why did we even mention it?
You know what this screams to me? It screams to me, we're not sure what we're doing.
Oh, by the way, it is a berry blended ale. Now, me personally, huge fan of Left Hand. Their milk stout on tap is an absolute good pour, actually. You can see that cascading head that is so common. For those of you who don't know, a hard pour when it comes to nitro gets, well, technically these aren't the right glasses, but you get a normal highball glass, you do the hard pour, and you really can see everything cascade up. It's really cool. But anyway, Left Hand Nitro Milk Stout on tap is delicious, and it is a standby if I can find it. So this, on the other hand, it looks like something you would expect to taste like berries.
It's very colorful.
It does not have a great smell to it.
Smells like old pennies.
Yeah, does not have a great smell.
Can we get into it? Let's just get into it.
Kind of. Can we talk about the smell for a second, though? Because
old pennies, yes, we talked about it. Let's go.
There's no berry.
There's a little bit of berry. It's mainly the tannin from the berry, like the skin.
Maybe, I guess.
You know what I get from this? I
feel you on old pennies.
I get a little bit of like a raspberry at the end. Give it a good smell and hold your breath. Like
the tartest, most bitter
like the end of what you would do if you had a raspberry. Shall we?
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
Watered down rubaeus.
Not even that. I don't even taste like a rubaeus in there. It tastes like watered down like cranberry juice.
I do. Yeah, boy, that's a little disappointing. I'm not gonna lie to you.
See, when you have a nitro, you expect it to be very full, like a really full mouthfeel.
Yes.
Something that it's almost like drinking, almost to a point without actually being like a milkshake IPA, but something like a milkshake.
Yeah, very very coating, very thick, very full, very robust. This, on the other hand,
this is very weak.
Surprisingly,
it's very
surprisingly weak and thin.
Deflated. It's very deflated as to what you would expect a nitro to be.
It tasted like you had a raspberry nitro that was like that much. And you're like, oh crap, we didn't fill the can enough, and they filled it with just water. It says ingredients: Rocky Mountain water. You think you're cute? Malted barley, hops, raspberries, black currants, and yeast. I don't get any black currants with that, and I barely get raspberries. Honestly,
I get a lot of red raspberry here. Honestly, I mean, for being a blonde ale, it's still pretty weak.
It's just I don't get a lot of it, and maybe I'm expecting it to be this, and it's actually this.
Well, I mean, we've had nitros from Left Hand in the past, and I guess that when you get something that's as robust as a milk stout from them, you get this thing you want it to taste a certain way. It's like when we tried the Left Hand milk stout cigar, and it tasted, there were no chocolate notes or anything. It just tasted like a cheap cigar that just had a milk stout label on it. Yeah,
it just misses the mark for me. Good try, but
I wouldn't even go that far.
You tried.
I don't think it's a good try.
You did try.
I feel like they didn't try.
It just misses the mark.
I feel like they were like, oh look, nitro, we can do that, and then literally nothing else happened.
If you took away the cascading head and the when you opened it, I don't think you could tell this was a nitro at all. Like, there's just nothing about it.
Like, it's got a beautiful thick head on it.
It really does, and that's why I'm kind of like swirling it, maybe hoping that would help.
It doesn't. It makes it worse actually when you swirl too much.
Yeah, it really does, and then you can kind of see how it cascades up, and then you're like, oh wow. Nothing. It just doesn't do. It's weak as hell. Now, what I will say is that you could probably drink a lot of them, and
no, you couldn't, because it's not good. It doesn't taste good. You wouldn't want to.
I'm saying you could drink a lot of them
ingest it.
and not be full.
I bet I would be full
I don't know.
because these are just. I mean,
it tastes like water. There's bigger. It's very watery. It's very thin. It's very like ugh. It just lacks.
the Flamingo shouldn't be on there. First off, because it has nothing to do with tropical anything.
It just lacks a lot of flavor, and I wanted to have more flavor.
I think it just lacks flavor in general.
Yeah,
just,
it's just
all around bad on flavor.
it's not great. That being said, I guess a 1. It's technically.
I'm gonna give it a 2, just because they have the nitro down.
It is technically nitro.
So it is somewhat what they explained. I do get the raspberry. I don't get a lot of raspberry, but I do get a hint of raspberry at the end. So I'm going to give it a 2 because the description is fairly accurate.
Technically correct.
Fairly accurate.
I've had way better blonde ales. Like I said, I've had way better raspberry ales. Rubaeus,
That's the bee's knees right there.
It is the bee's knees. But what I'm saying is that regular Rubaeus is better than this Nitro Flamingo Dreams. You know what you need to keep away from me? The non-Nitro version of this, because
or just any version of this in general.
because the Nitro, I guess, helps it a little. But could you
I
imagine if you took the Nitro away from it?
I feel like the nitro might actually be detrimental to this at this point.
Why, bro?
Because
Based
it
off
doesn't-
the expectations? Or?
No, just based off the fact that it adds nothing to it. Like it doesn't add anything or take anything away from it. Because the underlying issue is that it's very limp on your palate. Like it's not. It's thin. It's too
flaccid beer.
Yes, flaccid.
So limp.
Flaccid, limp,
So flaccid.
non-working beer.
I mean, we'll need medication to help
I
it.
mean, maybe if you folded the beer a couple times, maybe that would help.
I don't know. We've used this as a mixer.
You put a rubber band around the beer or
Yeah.
something. I'm not sure.
Hang upside down. I don't know. Yeah, maybe if you did like 3 fingers of good vodka over ice and then poured this in, you could do like a.
Or like, hear me out. Like you
A
go
cute-
to
a cute-
pour it in, right?
Okay.
But then you miss,
and right at the singer.
and then it's the perfect combination.
Then you just have 3 fingers of vodka. Then you're good to go.
Not, we've talked about this. I'm not a vodka fan. I don't really like vodka. There's one vodka I've ever had that I've actually been able to tolerate, and Tanner fucked that up in one of his reviews. But other than that,
I just haven't done the correct review yet. Technically, is what it is. You liked Belvedere. Belvedere's all right.
Belvedere's
all right.
it's not as good as like Grey Goose in my opinion, but
See,
and I don't even like Grey Goose. If
that
tells
is
you.
something that I haven't done Grey Goose, and it's under $30. It's the same price as Belvedere, but people are very divided on Kettle One, Belvedere, and Grey Goose.
Oh, Kettle One is I could drink a Tom Collins with Kettle One in it and not have an issue.
How bad is this beer? We have completely took a side path to vodka. So guys, honestly, just skip this one. Get a Rubaeus, dude.
You know what? Go ahead, try it. If it's at a bar, ask for a taste. Don't buy it. Ask for a taste.
These views are not shared by the entire Dwarvenkegger crew.
You wouldn't tell somebody to get a taste of it just to see if it's right up their alley?
No, why?
Well, because some people some people don't like stronger beers. They don't like a full-bodied beer. Those people are wrong. Don't get me wrong. But it's important. I mean, just like us, we try everything. We try anything we can.
True.
And sometimes when we try something, it surprises us. There are some beers that we've had where we've been like, holy fucking shit. This is amazing.
True.
And we never thought it would be good.
But this is not one of them.
This is far from that.
No. So, but what you can do is like, subscribe, hit that little bell at the bottom, follow us on Instagram, Facebook for all sorts of Dwarvenkegger shenanigans. And if you are looking forward to support the craziness here at Dwarvenkegger, hit us up with that Patreon link below. Also, check out our other videos, which include
Budget booze reviews, cigar reviews. We've got beer reviews just like this. I have rants, cooking videos. He opened cards for a little while, which was very awkward. We also have a lot of shenanigans. So please, check them out.
do it and drink better beer.
I'm not changing this beer.
No.
Oh, also, if you guys have a chance to, leave a comment down below.
All right, do that too.